just wanted to make a quick video. Well, I always think they're going to start off quick because I think I can summarize things pretty quickly, but then it always opens up into something new, like more. But I want to get to the point of this flow reality I'm in, like this stream of flow at the moment, which is about healing. Because I think, well, I know, and I don't know everyone's situation, that's not what I'm saying. I know that healing from the mental structure and capacity that we've been at is the mind takes in too much of what it thinks is relevant for healing. So, to summarize, we put time into healing, like we actually put time on it. We label that this usually takes about this long, and and some medicines do have that effect, like in emergency situations where you got the flu and you need to take this for a certain time period. Yes, emergency medicine is always needed, and assistance, I mean, that's an obvious. But we put time into our minds when it comes to moving forward into a better state. But what would help us is realizing that we have this timelessness. So we are not our minds. We are we've been living in the mental, like I said, we've put structures in place. So we think of them, we go to them when it comes to that. And we don't realize how much we actually do that. Like it's layered through everything. And because that's the time frame reality we've been living in. So it just kind of makes sense. But it's not the whole truth. If we allowed the whole truth, we would say, we operated this way before, but there's this other aspect to us that we cannot deny, but we need to evolve. And that truth is, from an energy perspective, let go of the focus of anything that's anything that plays a part to the old way of getting better. So don't give it so much focus is what I'm trying to say. Because when we stop giving the focus to, and I'll cover some of them, and we stop giving the focus to the things that show up all the time that tell us, oh yeah, this is natural, this is what happens, this is what you go through. If that is a good thing, we allow that, right? But if that is noticing and taking someone into lower vibrational patterns about the condition that's showing up, that's the waste of energy right there. So what we need to do is notice that when things show up, we don't have to give them our attention. So just taking this to a bigger scale at the moment, when we notice things happening in our planetary, like our oneness that we share, our energy field on this planet, when we notice something happening outside of our sovereign beings in the planetary environment, we don't have to allow thought of that. And then it comes, like the energy comes closer into our field and we start to live more of that through thought. We're attracting it. We don't have to do that. And it's same when something is going on in our field. So we have something showing up. We can take that down real quickly into all different kinds of emotions and mental attachment to what someone's told us, to the actual condition, as though we just need to view it as pain and bad and this and that. But we have this innate light that we are. And so when we don't take things down into this limited mentality that, oh yes, time, and I've seen what happens in these kind of conditions, and it is just a influential grouping of energy that says healing happens a certain way. So I hope you see what I mean by that. Because the truth is bigger. But we've been living in the mental, let's just call it a balloon or a, like a bubble structure, where this energy field that we associate our human healing with says, this kind of cycle of stuff. We'll bite into it. But the truth is, when we don't focus individually or looking outside of us on the problem as though it's all bad, because when something shows up in your field with discomfort, it's actually giving you more of a message of how you're operating your whole structure. So I think I can branch into this a little bit now, and I'll just touch on it because I think I've already said enough for us to take notice that as a whole, we have been operating where we will judge healing a certain way, that it will take a certain time period. But essentially, it's not true. And so what our energy is actually asking us to do is to resign the attachment to the obvious, and this is holistic medicine. And holistic medicine is going to be known for more of the opening, because holistic medicine asks you to come back in and view yourself as whole, like I was saying. How amazing life gets when we do that, instead of living day by day, checking in with what the outside world thinks should happen in this conditional state. And instead, the issues are asking you to come back in to notice where you might have been sending your energy, which is your thoughts, emotions, which is connected to your decisions and actions. How you've been using your energy resource and reservoir to see if it's in alignment with your spirit and soul. Now that's where we're getting to, that people will actually check in with what is my spirit and soul. And when we do that and we come home more, for that is the medicine, to over time and walking the path with other helpers on the path, so teachers, guides, earthly, divine, that we connect in and work from here in our central frequency, that's when we realize that healing is the continuation of our energy field dropping away on all layers or levels, however you want to look at it, at different times about different things. It feels like a layer and a level because we're entwined with all different actions and choices and change in the world and everything. So you look at it more from that resonance from within. And that's the innate light soul frequency being. So to summarize, we look at life more from the human physical perspective and how do we fix it, and that'll take time and it'll be this medicine, and this is as far as we mentally have got at this stage for working with these conditions, etc., for various issues. But instead of the outside coming in approach, it is the human being becoming more of themselves and being more aware that they are an energy field and how are they using it. Moment, daily interaction, use of your medicine. Because we give this beautiful medicine of ourselves away to thoughts that say all different conditional attachments of lower vibration. Like, you can only be helped if it's done this way because they say, and things like this intermingled throughout life where people are telling you, and you know it, there's a discrepancy between living your soul, because your spirit will give you signs whether you're happy or not, whether you're living the embodiment of your soul, or you're giving your thoughts energy over to things that aren't. There's a discrepancy between the human listening to its soul via spiritual activity in life, like happiness and contentment, and like doing what you enjoy doing, speaking up for yourself, expressing your energy authentically for yourself. There's a discrepancy there with humans right now where we are using our two eyes more, looking out to the world for how we run ourselves. So to bring it back around, when we're at home and we get to know this and we join with others, and like the card I drew today was the ant spirit, about using this part of yourself to truly make a connection, walking hand in hand with your spirit, so you're noticing consciously what you're participating in, and if you're actually bringing something that is fulfilling, because that's your soul coming through your spirit. So the ant card, the ant spirit, was saying, you know, it's time for a collaboration of trust of your spirit will lead the way. And then I drew a healing card and a signs card from the angel deck, which I'll show you the pictures of actually. I got this 3 times as I was shuffling and looking at the deck, and then this one was right behind it. So the power of our spirit and noticing the connections between the universe and us, like helping each other, co-creation. So of course we need this kind of healing where we're there for each other, and also embracing the divine, which is our spiritual support teams. it just hit me that I needed to share, and we need to bring to the table more that divinity that we are, and that the universe is working with us. And remember, like, does it feel like you're empowering your life? If not, then the energy of the issues has to dissolve. So you keep coming home to yourself, and then your forward steps, instead of the focus on worry and this is changing and this is changing, your forward steps are more, you need to empower your life and let go of things that you may have been a part of repeating, or the world is repeating it around you. You need to take steps out of this kind of field of awareness to allow your spirit to come forth. So you take the focus, you do what needs to be done for the healing part of it. Like, you need rest, connection with others, and do like spiritual connection as well, like with healers or teachers. Spend time soaking in that which empowers your spirit, and do that through a connection with the teacher or healer. Like, I like the way they've done this. They've got a lot to share with me, because that's what you want to embody for yourself. And look out for perhaps a variety, because you're going to meet or find that there is lots of people in this world to connect with. It's not like one teacher or one class. It is ongoing. Who am I, and what does my spirit want me to share? Like, soul and spirit, one, working together. Like, I feel good, I'm sharing myself. Not that we don't come across life's challenges, etc., but that's where we come home to ourselves, and the challenges are not so prominent or dominant, because there's less when you come home to yourself to share your spirit in the world, because that's what you came to do. So being stuck in healing mentality is not the way to go to express yourself. You're just keeping something going. So you'd probably notice perhaps in any of your lives where there has been people going through healing, but there are those that will recover because they're deciding more, and you can't always see it, but they're deciding more that I want to live something of myself that's not living. And they've kind of found that for themselves, that life is about joy, but I've been giving my energy to something else. I'm going to do this. Or I'm going to take little steps to push forth and create change in my world that is going to benefit myself. I'm standing up for myself. And that's not, and it doesn't have to be of detriment in the change. It can be standing up for self is politely pushing forward, saying, this is who I am and these are the changes that are going to occur, because I come home to me to check in what's needed for me, instead of pushing forth, doing stuff you don't want to do to please an outside energy, because that just brings drainage to your field. So when people discover that it is about living your spirit and you have to take steps for that, that's where you embrace your light. That's where the healing occurs. It truly is. So when someone might say this takes a long time to heal, or I've been going through this for a long time, there's just something going on that, and it can play a bigger part because we are energy, but this talk would be for another time, where you've actually chosen to come into this dimensional life and go through something particular because we have soul family connections. So it's not necessarily just your immediate family, it's global. We have soul family connections where each of us, for one soul to expand and do a certain thing in this life, the other soul or souls played a part at a certain time. So healing brings in, normally it brings in more love from others. So perhaps that soul's lesson was, in this lifetime, apply, more love to your experience. These are the kind of things that we go through, because essentially all the soul paths, no one comes to earth not with a divinely led objective. Like, we don't come to earth thinking we've come here to suffer. We actually, before we come, we know everything's been set up in the plans for us to experience certain things, for love to come out. So our only challenge is whether we show love to life, or we might hide through patterns that we have to dissolve ourselves to bring our spirit out, all this different kind of thing. But it does come down to, no soul came to earth particularly, although there might be some that have strong things to deal with and they don't actually evolve out of the issues and decide that loving would be too hard. So then we see more of the opposite in the world, because they've decided, the soul's decided for themselves, it's too hard to evolve through love. My mind can't see how love would play a better effect moving forward. And, the only way we can assist any souls like that, and we all go through it at different intensities and life experiences, is to keep coming home to ourselves, take care of ourselves, and emanate our souls through this spiritual experience in body form, because we affect the same energy field. So hopefully someone who is denying that love, offering, or even receiving into, what might feel dark for them, that, there might be and is this light shift going on where more light can enter. They don't actually understand what occurred, but they know it feels better. And essentially that's what we are. We are feel better beings in a 3D experience. Our spirit is naturally of higher vibration, but we've got to be anchored to a planet. So, so we'll always have that anchoring awareness that we'll be here to live a life anchored on this planet for a certain time. So I think 23. I think I explained a lot in that short time period there. And I think it's an amazing flow to share, and we could open that up more and more and more, because we're rising out of the suffering mentality. And ain't it grand? So I'll end this session now by telling you that I won't be numbering the soul flow reality sessions anymore. It just doesn't feel relevant. I think the first 45 were great discussions, but now it's just going to be named exactly what it is. So this was a talk on healing. And that will certainly open up, which is what flow is, continuation of our field, opening up to more and more and more. I don't think there was, but I don't think I need to do it. Just the diagram visual I had to show you. Yeah, okay, just briefly. When the person in healing lets go of focusing the mind on the lower connections of what illness on any level is, when we let go of this, which you could do right on the head, however you want to draw it, when we let go, that's where the density is going, because we're not giving into the old. We've come back home to ourselves, and yeah, it raises our awareness out into life. And yeah, that's where you heal more a lot quicker, because you're opening up more to life than giving into the mental structure. So, I mean, it's good in one respect that we don't actually, because you know how we always want proof about how spirit and life helps us? Because, you know, the mental structure is, what are you talking about? I just go take some medicine. But if we were to see our thoughts go into the field, it is either following through on lower vibration or opening up to what you can't see yet. And you can't see the thoughts of the lower either, but you feel them. So it's this vibrational reminder for us of what we give our energy to. So if it feels old and structured, and we're just giving into beliefs of what's been, and it doesn't feel good, it means that there's something else, and you come back home to your light awareness. Don't give so much mental focus to the issue. Like I was saying, take care of yourself. If you've got to do certain things, good, but don't give over all your power to it like, this is what will heal me. No, you're taking care of the physical. You come home to the mind and emotions and check how you're using your energy. Because your energy is your light usage. And the more that it's a full connection and not just the lower, changes and shifts happen. And yes, this is what we call miracles. But what we're opening up now is that miracles aren't for some. They are for those that don't give in. They are for those that not fight forward, but sometimes it feels like that. Like you've got to do certain things to get better, yes. But you have to, in a way, distance yourself from focusing on that and open up to a bigger perspective of yourself. And I will leave it there because that can go on to more. Thanks for joining me. And I hope you take the time with your own life to feel into anything that intrigued you to move forward with. Because yeah, healing can happen so much quicker when we come home to ourselves. So learning what coming home to yourself is from a heaven to earth perspective, all one. We don't give in to other narratives. We always open up more from ourselves, who we are. And that's where we don't have so much to deal with that's classed as healing, because we're moving forward as ourselves in a lighter perspective. Light, and it feels lighter. And that's healing summarized. Boom. Summarized. A lot to it, but like, come home to yourself. Learn what that means. And yeah. I will just say, it's not by any means a click of the finger. We're not talking about that necessarily. But that does happen too, where we cannot see it. So, from shifts in ourselves, boom, light comes in. It really does. Because it's never not there for us. It's only what we've been living in, we might be given all our attention to. But it is there for us all the time. And it is power. It is powerful. Purest, even sharpest white light. Not that the spirit realm is all white light, but the power of the light is unlimited. And we have access to it. And it's not a particular way, like say a particular thing generically and everyone is healed or something, because that's up to us how we connect with our light, part of that light. God bless everyone. That is the light. Bye for now.